And I'll start by sharing my screen with you. Good. And let's switch to the slideshow. And what we're going to look at this evening is second-hand play. It's a topic I've covered before, so I'll go through it fairly briefly, and then we'll look at some more examples of it. But second-hand play is a guideline for the defense, and it basically refers to the situation where declarer leads a suit and you've got a high card, and generally it's right for you to play second-hand low. The exception is that if an honor is led, you should generally cover it with an honor of your own if there's a possibility that it might promote a trick for you or your partner. So I would say that this guideline as presented on that page covers 95% of the situations. Second-hand low, by the way, is often a good guideline for declarer. For example, in a situation like this, where they lead the 6 of spades and dummy's got the queen 3-2 and you've got the king 8-5 in your own hand, it's you've got a choice as to whether to play the queen or not, and it's often a good idea with honors in both hands to play low from dummy here, second hand low. A couple of things could happen. One thing is East could contribute the ace, in which case you get 2 tricks, or even if you play low and they play something like the jack, you can beat it with the king, and then you may well win a second trick with your queen. If the layout, for example, is something like this, beat the jack with a king, and you may well make another trick if the ace of spades is on your left by leading towards it later on. But really the intention of it is as a guideline for the defense. And as declarer, if you have a situation like this with the ace in one hand and the king in the other, you can do whatever you like. You can win it with the ace, win it with the king, or duck from both hands. You can see both hands, and generally speaking, you might be thinking about keeping entries, looking at a hand that's got fewer entries, or you've got to decide what you're going to play after you win the trick. So in this situation, you can win it with the ace if you like, or you can win it with the king. It's entirely up to you as declarer. But as a defender, we generally follow the guideline of second-hand low. Let's have a look at a few examples of this. I've got some polls coming up in a moment, but let's suppose that this could be a no-trump contract, or it might be a suit contract. It doesn't make much difference on most of these hands. Let's imagine at some point during the play of a hand, declarer leads a 3 of spades towards dummy, and you've got the king 10-6 in your hand, and you can see the ace queen 2 in dummy. And I've got the first poll of the evening, which is what should West play here? You're going to play the king, the 10, or the 6. Most of you have gone for the 6, with a few people going for the 10 and one person going for the king. And of course, it's absolutely right to play low here. There is absolutely, I mean, what's declarer going to play from dummy? They're not going to play the 2. They're going to play the ace or the queen. And you playing the king just would be wonderful for them. And even playing the 10 is a complete waste of your 10. Because they're going to play the ace or the queen anyway. So just play the 6. And in many situations, you should, don't even think about playing a high card here. On the other hand, suppose declarer has led the jack from their hand. Well, now you may be concerned about playing your king, but it's actually right to play the king here because they've led an honor. And if the layout is something, if they've got something like the, if they leave the jack, and let's consider what happens if you just let the jack win. If they leave the jack and you play low, they'll win with the jack. They'll lead another spade and finesse the queen, and then they'll take the ace and they'll make 3 tricks and you won't make any trick. But if you cover the jack with the king, that will force out the ace, and now you've possibly promoted a trick with your 10 of spades. So you may make a trick later on with your 10, okay? But playing low here, I don't think has any merit here. And on a layer like this, you may get a trick if you cover, if you play second hand high, covering the jack with your king. Do stop me if you have any questions. I hope this is familiar to most of you. What about this one? This time they lead the jack again, and I've got the king 7-4 in my hand. What should I play this time? Should I play the king, the 7, or the 4? And it's almost 50-50, 48 to 52 in terms of playing the king or the 4 there. So about half of you are right and half of you are wrong. And the right answer is that you should play the king here because it may promote a trick for your side. If the layout is something like this, can you see that if you play low here when they play the jack, they will win the trick, lead the suit again, finessing the queen and then the ace, and you won't make any tricks for your side. But if you cover the jack with the king, it will lose to the ace, but now you've promoted your partner's 10 if they happen to have that card. So it's right to cover an honor with an honor because it may promote a trick for your partner in this case. And I know this is very hard to do. Less experienced players in particular find it very hard to do that, especially when they can see the ace in dummy. But it is the right thing to do. And it's one of the most common mistakes I see when people are playing, that they don't cover honors with an honor. Now, it's not guaranteed to promote a trick for your side. If I change the south hand so that they've now got the jack 10, 9, 8, if they lead the jack here, now you're never going to make a trick, whether you cover the jack with the king or not. Your side is never going to make a trick. They're always going to finesse against your king. But nonetheless, it's right when they lead the jack to play the king, because you don't know who's got the 10 in this situation. How about this one? This time you've got the king 7-4-2, and they lead the queen with the ace, jack 10-9 in dummy. What are you going to play? Are you going to play the king or a low card? Have a think, and here's a poll on that.
There's no selection there.
There's nothing on the poll.
Nothing on the poll. Just select answer.
There's nothing on the poll, Tony.
I see. 10 people have answered so far.
You can pull it
Nothing on
down.
the poll.
If you click on select answer, then it comes up.
Okay.
You can click the down arrow and it
Yeah,
comes
just
up.
click on
Okay.
that.
Okay. Sorry, they made some changes to polls, I think. So. Okay, let's have a look at the results. And again, we've got a fairly even division. 62% have voted for the 2, or well, another 5% vote played for the 7. And 1/3 of you played the king. And let's switch back and have a little think about this. Well, what's different here is that I can see the ace, jack, 10-9 in dummy. And there's really no prospect that I can promote anything for myself or my partner here. So there is no merit here in covering the queen with the king. It's an exception. You can see what's going to happen. If I play the king, they'll beat it with the ace and they'll just take the jack 10-9. Thank you very much. So don't cover in this situation because it cannot promote a trick for your side. And in fact, if the layout is something like this, suppose declarer's just got 2 cards in their hand, just think about what will happen. If you cover, they'll make all 4 tricks. But if you don't cover, they'll win the queen, presumably, then lead another card, win finessing that in dummy, and they can cash a 3rd trick with the ace, but they can't make 4 tricks. Okay, so here there's no merit in covering an honor because it cannot promote a trick for your side. Do let me know if you have any questions about that. Here's another one. This time we're switching to the other side of the table, and declarer at some point calls for the jack of spades from dummy. And you've got the king 5-3. And the question is, what should you play? Should you play the king or a low card? So 46% have gone for the king, and the rest of you played a low card. So again, about half of you are right and half of you are wrong. And if we switch back to the screen, the right card for you to play is the king here. This is one of the hardest plays as a defender. But when an honor is played, you should cover an honor with an honor, because as a prospect, it may promote a trick for your side. Let's imagine the layout is something like this. If they lead the jack and we play the king, they can beat it with the ace. And even though they've got the queen, we will have promoted a trick for my partner's 10 of spades. If I don't cover, they will lead the jack and let it run around. It will win the trick. They will repeat the finesse, play a spade again, win that one with the queen, and then they'll take their ace, and I won't win any tricks. So this is a hard one, but generally speaking, you should cover an honor with another honor in this situation, and it may promote a trick for your side. There's another possibility. The layout could be something like this, that declarer's just got the king and jack in one hand and the queen in the other. And if they lead a low card, you would play low. But if they lead an honor, it's right for you to cover the honor with an honor. So if they lead the jack, you should beat it. You'll win that one. And then your partner's still got the ace to prevent declarer making a trick with the queen. And if you and your partner defend correctly, declarer shouldn't make any tricks from this combination if declarer leads this suit themselves. You may think that if the jack is played, you can play low, and then your partner will win the ace, which is true. But now declarer should be able to make a trick with the queen by later on leading from dummy towards the queen. And now you can't prevent the queen from making a trick. So in both of those examples, it's right to cover an honor with an honor, because it may promote a trick for your side. And if you cover an honor with an honor and it doesn't promote a trick for your side because declarer's holding in that suit is too strong, well, don't feel bad. You've done the right thing. But I can see a lot of you, about half, still not quite doing the right thing. And I would also say it's hard. It's even harder to do it in real life than when you're watching this video. Because it sort of comes upon you. So if you're sitting there with the east holding and you've got the king 5-3, and you should be ready for the moment when declarer leads this suit from dummy as to what to play. So it's wrong to play low here, or declarer will make a queen. Yeah. So as you know, in bridge there are always examples, and then examples of exceptions to the rule. And this is one situation. Imagine declarer is playing in a 4-heart contract, and you've got the king queen 4-3, and at some point declarer leads the 2, obviously leading towards dummy. What's going to happen here is there's a danger. If you play low here, you might automatically think of playing low here, but there's a danger if you play low that declarer will win a trick now with the jack or the 10. And if the layout is something like this, if they say just got 2 cards here in their own hand, you might not win any tricks in this suit at all. So this is an example where you've got 2 honors here. And even though you can see playing an honor will lose, it will at least establish 1 trick with your second high card there. So this is called splitting your honors. When you have 2 touching honors, it's normally right to play one of them in a situation like this. It would also be the case that this will be the right play if this were no trump as well, because if you play low, declarer will be able to make more tricks before you get in. So it's better for you to play low, even though declarer will win that one with the ace, you'll win the next trick in this suit. Whereas if you play low, declarer can win 2 tricks without you having a chance to win any tricks. So that's another exception, splitting your honors. And let's have a look at this one here. Declarer here, this time we're looking at the trump suit. So declarer's playing in 4 spades. The bidding went 1 spade, 4 spades. And at some point, declarer leads the jack of spades from their hand towards dummy. And you might think of covering an honor with an honor, but it's quite likely that the layout is something like this, and that declarer actually has 9 trump here, including the ace king. And the normal way to play this suit combination by declarer is actually to just cash the ace and the king and hope that the queen drops. But if they lead the jack in this situation, they may be trying to tempt you into covering the jack with a queen. But the likelihood is there's nothing to promote in your partner's hand. And the likelihood is they're just playing the jack to give you a chance to go wrong. So if you have this holding here, you should be preparing in advance and thinking about what you're going to play if declarer leads the suit from their own hand. And if they lead a low card, of course, you would play low. But and if they lead a high card like the jack, you should also play low. They may well, if you play low smoothly, they may go up with the ace and hope that the queen drops, or hope that your partner has the queen, perhaps. So again, these are exceptions to the general rule of covering an honor with an honor. One other possible layout on a holding like this could even be that your partner's got a singleton king. And now if you cover the jack with your queen, it goes jack, queen, ace, king. And of course, your side doesn't win any tricks. So that's quite a possible holding there. So don't cover in this situation. It's probably declarers trying to trick you or to gain some clue as to whether you've got an honor or not by leading the jack. So let's have a look at a few complete hands on this subject. I'll just switch to the other screen. And let's have a look at this one here, where South has opened a weak 2 spades and it's been passed out. And your partner leads the queen of diamonds, and that appears to be quite a good lead, because I'm assuming my partner's got some kind of sequence with the queen and the jack, and the king is in dummy, and I've got the 8. So let's suppose they play low from dummy. I'm going to give an encouraging signal here, because I want my partner to carry on in this suit. I might play the 8 or the 6 or something. My partner wins the trick. Suppose I now lead the jack, and suppose declarer plays the king from dummy. Of course, I'm going to play the ace. And let's suppose I lead another diamond back, which declarer roughs. Okay, so nothing I could do about that. And now declarer starts to draw trumps. So they play the king of spades. And it's well worth thinking about how many trumps are still outstanding as a defender, because declarer started with 6 of the 6-card suit, presumably. So they started with 9. So East and West have just got 4 cards. So they play another spade and they draw the last trump with the ace. And let's suppose that they now lead the queen of hearts. And this is a moment you might have been thinking about. You, with that holding of the king and the 8, should be planning to cover an honor with an honor. It may help your side gain a trick here. If you don't, let's just bring up the 4 hands. If you play low here, declarer can win the trick with the queen. And then if they lead, for example, a low heart, you have to play the king because you only started with 2. They will take the ace and they will make one more trick. So in other words, if I click on the GIB button, it's telling me that I can hold declarer to 8 tricks here if I cover the honor with an honor. but they'll make an over trick if I play low. So yes, the right thing to do is to play the king. That forces out the ace. But if they now play the jack, which they can win a trick with, then it will ultimately set up a trick for your partner's 10. And you'll make one more trick there than you would have made if you played second hand low. So you need to cover the honor with the honor in that situation. Declarer's going to lose some club tricks, but at the end they'll just make their 8 tricks there. Let's try another one. And this time it's in 3 no trump. South has opened 2 no trump. You've got quite a nice hand, but you pass and North raises to 3 no trump. And I hope everyone would lead the Queen of Hearts here. So you lead the Queen of Hearts. Your partner plays the 3 and Declarer wins the ace. And now Declarer leads the 3 of diamonds. And I've got another poll question for you, which is, what are you going to play as West? The ace, the jack, or the 7? Let's have a look at the results. And most of you have gone for the 7, with 26% going for the jack and 2 people going for the ace. And playing the ace here is a bad mistake. The layout could easily be something like this. And the whole point of you having your ace there is to try to beat an honor with it. So it's a bad mistake playing the ace here because it gives Declarer 2 diamond tricks, which would allow them to make the contract. So you should play low here. I wouldn't even play the jack because Declarer is most unlikely to try to win this trick with the 8 of diamonds. They're almost certainly going to play the king. So you keep your ace back, keep your jack back, and play that way. You should be able to stop Declarer making more than 1 diamond trick. The only time it would be kind of right to go up with the ace in this situation would be, for example, if you had already forced out the ace and king of hearts and you had good hearts to run, then that would be another exception to the rule of playing low. Go up with the ace in that situation and cash your hearts, because you should be able to defeat the contract. But that's not the case here. So the right card is to play low. Declarer will play the king, win the trick, but you've kept your ace to stop the queen from making a trick. And if they play another diamond back, then if they do play the queen, then of course you can beat it with your ace, and now you would force out the king of hearts. Okay, and if they do carry on with diamonds, which is probably not a good idea, you'll get in and you'll be able to set up your hearts. Okay, so it's if I rewind the hand and go back to that point where this point here, if I click here, they say you can actually make this, Declarer can make this contract, but you'll make an over trick if you go up with the ace there. You're making life too easy for Declarer there. So do watch out for that. Don't play your aces on low cards unless you have a very good reason to. Let's have a look at this one. Here, East opened 1 spade. Your South here, you pass, and 3 spades is then raised to 4 spades. You start off with the ace of diamonds here. Down comes dummy, and your partner plays the 4, so you win the ace. The 4 is not encouraging, but nonetheless you carry on because you've got a very good diamond holding. You win the second trick, and you play your queen, and Declarer roughs. And now Declarer leads the jack of spades, and I've got a poll question for you. What should South play here? What should South play? Should South play the queen, the 4, or the 3? Okay, let's have a look at the results. And 52% have said play the queen, and the rest of you have played low. And I'm sorry to say that's a mistake to play the queen here. The prospects of the idea of playing the queen on the jack will be to promote a trick for your side. But because this is the trump suit, it's quite possible that East has got 5 spades here. There are 4 in dummy, and that would mean that your partner's only got 1 spade. They've got 2 at the most, and so there's very little chance that you can establish anything. So Declare is trying to trick you here by playing the jack, if you like, giving you a chance to either hesitate or go up with the queen. But because this is a trump suit, and because you can account for the jack, the 10, the 9, and the king, there's no merit here in playing the queen. You should just play low here, and Declare may go up with the king. For example, if they've got if they started with 9 trump altogether, the normal way to play this combination would be to just cash the ace and the king. But they were giving you a chance to go wrong by tempting you to cover the jack with the queen there. So if they do go up with the king, now you will make a trick with the queen later on. And let's imagine that at this point, Declare plays hearts and leads the jack of clubs from dummy. And let's have a look at this from your partner's point of view. And I hope you can see that when the jack is played from dummy, your partner's got the queen, and that they should cover, because here it's sort of easier to see because they've got the 10, and they can see there's a prospect that covering the jack with the queen will promote the 10. If this is the layout here, then if Declare does lead the jack, you should probably play Nor should play the queen. If I go back one trick, you can see that this club situation, Declare has really misplayed it. The correct way to play the clubs when you've got the ace 7 6 and the king jack here would be to lead towards the jack and hope that the queen is in the south hand. But Declare, I see this happen quite a bit with less experienced players. They lead the jack and they get away with it because North doesn't cover the jack with the queen, and they win 3 tricks there, whereas they shouldn't really have made those kicks. Okay, so let's have a look at, got time for just a couple more. Here's 1 no trump, and you bid 2 clubs. You've got a very nice hand, but North jumps to 3 no trump, and you start off by leading your queen of clubs. And I hope you can, looking at dummy, you may think, well, I've got reasonable prospects of defeating this contract if I can set up my clubs. You don't expect much from your partner. So you lead the queen, they take the king, they lead a spade. Let's play low to start with, and they take their king. They lead a spade back, and I win with my ace. And let's suppose I play another club. I now knock out the ace of clubs, okay? And they come back with spades, so I have to start discarding. Maybe I discard a diamond, maybe discard another diamond. I want to keep my hearts, and I want to keep my clubs. And let's suppose at this point, they now lead a heart. And you might be thinking of playing second hand low here, but because you've got the king queen, you should split your honors in this situation. If I bring up the 4 hands at this point and click on the GIB button, you can see the computer saying that you can defeat this contract, but you must play the king or the queen. If you make the mistake of playing a low card, Declare will actually now win the jack, and now they'll have enough tricks to make their contract. But you can defeat them by going up with one of your honors. They can win that, but now they won't be able to make their contract unless they're lucky in the diamonds. Okay, and if they so now they've made 8 tricks, but whatever they play now, they're going to be defeated. If they play a heart, you get in with your king, and you can take the remaining club tricks. And one last one I wanted to look at. Let's see if we can figure this one out. Here, South has opened 1 heart, and North bids 2 no trump, which is alerted as Jacoby 2 no trump. And that means that it is a support for hearts with enough points for game. But South bids 4 hearts, which just shows a weak hand, but enough for game. And you lead against 4 hearts. So let's see if we can figure this one out. We start off with the ace of diamonds. My partner plays the 5. That's worth noting that there may be a card lower than the 5 unaccounted for. It's the 4 perhaps. So let's carry on with the king. Okay, they played the 4, so they were encouraging. So let's play a 3rd round. Maybe my partner will be able to ruff. No, in fact, they played the queen and Declare ruffs. Okay, so Declare's got in now, and Declare now starts drawing trumps. They play 2 rounds of trumps. They play another round of trump. I'm going to have to start discarding. I can discard a diamond, I think. And they now lead a club. And you might think about splitting your honors here, but I Declare is not going to play the 5 or the 4, so I'll just play low. They take the queen. They now play the king, and they now play the ace. Okay, so they've won 7 tricks, and they now lead a spade. And you can see they're going to finesse in dummy, and you know, it looks to you like the finesse is probably going to fail because you don't have the king or the jack. Maybe your partner's got those tricks. But believe it or not, you have come to the critical point of the play, because what Declarer has done is they have got rid of all the diamonds, they've got rid of the clubs. And if I bring up the 4 hands, these are the cards that remain. And Declarer can make this contract now by, if you play low here, they can just play the 5 and force your partner to win with the they can win with the 8, but then they are end played. Then they will have nothing else to lead back other than spades, and they will have to lead into the ace queen. So this is very good Declarer play, not trying the finesse exactly, but getting rid of all the other suits so that when East gains the lead here, they have to lead a spade. You can foil that if you're alert to this possibility of what's going on here by playing your 9 here. It may seem insignificant, but it's the only way to defeat the contract. So you play the 9 here, and now if Declarer plays low from dummy, your partner should let you win that trick with a 9. Unfortunately, they can let you win that, and now you can lead the spades, and your partner will make 1 more spade trick. So that's another example, if you like, of not automatically playing your lowest card if you see that the player is up to some fancy play like this, and they may be trying to end play your partner. Anyway, we'll end the talk there.